Hey, it's us.
I fucking can't believe it either.
Check that out.
We're still alive.
Return of the motherfucking Max. What's been happening, gentlemen? What has life brought forth to you these past, 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, as you may notice from my face, there's some adjustments that had to be made because I recently lost my job at Papa John's and I'm going job hunting again. So
He's on the hunt.
yeah, the ever difficult hunt of trying to find employment.
Well, it has been for a great long while, it seems.
Yeah.
A difficult time to try and find employment. And nearly
Honestly,
impossible to find gainful employment.
Yeah. Honestly though, man, I'm surprised that I worked that job as long as I did. I spent like 3 years at that job. Like realistically, nobody spends 3 years as a pizza maker at a Papa John's. Like
Yeah,
that job is not paid very well.
it's a good haul.
Yeah.
Surprising
The
that
thing about it was,
they wanted to fucking let you go after you were there for that long.
well, we started getting new people in, and we couldn't really keep the roster the same, so they just had to let me go.
It's the way it be sometimes. I got fired from a pizza joint one time, unjustly.
Were you a driver or a maker?
I did everything but deliver.
So you're an insider then.
Oh, yeah. I did, because this place did a bunch of subs and wings and spaghettis it was an Italian restaurant that primarily served brick oven pizza, but there was a bunch of other shit on the menu. And so there was a lot to learn. And I was always the guy that if somebody got sick or they needed somebody to come in, I never told them no. I was always going in. I was always doing whatever they wanted. But they knew I was in a band, so weekends were shit for me past a certain time. Usually in a band and playing around the local area, as long as I got off work by 8 or 9, I was fine because shows don't start till 10:30, 11 anyway. So
yeah, that's how it was for me, man. Like anytime there's certain days, I just get a little bit of extra money going on there. The weird thing about Papa John's though, they only paid bi-weekly, so I had to wait to buy stuff on there. Yeah, there's some jobs like that where they pay every 2 weeks instead of.
Oh yeah. No, a lot of jobs are that way actually, but that's a really shit way to do it, man. Because thin money every week helps a lot.
Yeah.
But dude, they fired me because I went on tour, and I told them I wasn't going to be able to make it back for one of my shifts. I was going to be a couple hours late. And they fired me for being a couple hours late. I gave them a day notice because I was driving from Florida back to Virginia, which is 12 hours. And I told them, I'm leaving Florida right now, and it's 3 in the morning. I'm not going to make it there for my 9 a.m. shift. I'll be there a little bit later, but I'm letting you know when I am probably going to be leaving, Yeah. And because I knew that the way that the schedule had us booked and when we were going to be able to leave the venue, there was just no way. And so with that much notice, you would think after all the times I covered for people, it would be good. But they fucking fired me, bro.
Evidently not.
Yeah. Well, Fred just said in chat, he said, I got fired from my job at a pub because the place got shut down mid-shift.
Fuck. Yeah, there's not much you can do about that one. Everybody's getting fired.
But the police just rolled up everybody on the ground.
God,
hours over, motherfucker.
How young do you have to be serving people in the UK for it to get shut down? 10?
Something like that.
Well, we got a wee bit of a toddler in here. That's a little bit. It's a little bit fucked, isn't it?
Fucking 12, 13-year-old kid. Oi, could I have a Guinness, mate?
I don't see why not. The game's on, isn't it?
Lads.
No, who knows, man? Restaurants. It's like every restaurant I've worked at, no matter how high end of an establishment or how well known it is, there's some grody ass nasty parts of the kitchen. There's some fucking, gross ass practices of keeping shit that's done gone bad and just making people work sick and shit. That's the one that really fucking pissed me off. You'll have somebody sitting there like, yeah, I think I'm running a fever. And it's like, oh, great. Please serve all of these people, like.
Oh my god, dude!
The last two Christmases
the last 2 Christmases I worked at Papa John's, man, I was like deathly sick, man. Like fucking like thrown up in the toilet and shit, man. Like the last 2 Christmas seasons that I worked at Papa John's, I was like out there. And then this recent one, I had to go in there one day. I was sort of fine, but then it sort of like kept coming up, like shit. It's like dry heaving and shit. And I had to head to the bathroom for about like 3 or 4 minutes. Just head in the toilet, just like just going in there,
and they were just like, "Hey, Thomas, can you take care of these orders here?"
No, they knew that I wasn't gonna be able to work, so they're just like,
Jesus Christ, ruthless bastards, dude.
And then I called up the next day because I was like afraid the same shit was gonna happen.
Nino, how's everybody in your neck of the woods? I know that it's got to be weird as fuck being in Europe right now.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we're doing fine, relatively. It's just recent developments have been kind of strange.
These motherfuckers are threatening y'all's fucking pipelines and all this other shit. It's just like, bro, literally no one is fucking with y'all right now. Please stop.
Could you guys just calm down for just a second, please?
Like, look, you're already attacking your own breadbasket. All right, leave us the fuck out of it.
Relax,
our natural oil fields are only so big. We already have enough earthquakes.
Hey, and if America has proven anything, the one way you bait a country into conflict is start to fuck with their oil.
Yeah.
Well, it's why the Japanese attacked America in World War II, because we cut off their oil supply. They're like, okay, fuck you guys then.
Banzai.
Speaking of Japanese, check this out. I just read yesterday that the Russians grabbed up a Japanese diplomat and interrogated him blindfolded and tied up for several hours.
Yeah.
For no reason. He didn't even do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so now Japan's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, Japan's pissed as hell at Russia right now.
Yeah. Russia's just causing all these fucking problems. Like, dude, we just want to live peacefully here.
Dude, man. Even China was like, bro, I don't like this.
It's so fascinating seeing Russia just as a country, because it's just run by this fucking man-child. It's like, I want this, and we're just like, no, you can't have it. It's like, okay, war.
Yeah. Plus his name's Putin.
Yeah.
I'll be Putin in his fucking face in a second.
Bro, what trips me out about the whole situation is like, he's kind of like that old grizzly vet that you see at the bar who's like 75 years old but still thinks he can fight like he was in his 20s. It's like, we know you're still just as mad, but you're not that guy anymore. You really just need to chill out right now and maybe think about your family. All right?
Dude, all these people reposting those old fucking pictures of him like wrestling bears and doing all this bullshit. Come on, that's not him anymore. Yeah.
Well, just the country in and of itself, they've attacked Ukraine and they almost don't have any tanks left.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's one of the weakest countries you could fight in Europe, and now you're out of tanks.
You've been outwitted by drunk farmers who stole all of their weapons from the military.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The only thing that scares me for you and everyone else is that bastard still has nukes, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if they, like, let's say they nuke the fuck out of Germany for whatever reason, even if that happens with the biggest bomb that's known to man, we would be relatively safe.
Mm.
Like, we wouldn't be irradiated to fuck. That's at least...
Wouldn't be a Fallout New Vegas situation.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I would kind of be okay with. I have
plans
to make a
listen.
power armor.
You want to run into a fucking Deathclaw?
Listen.
Oh, dude, I already have plans to make a power armor. I can fucking make it right now.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. This is an important question. Does your power armor produce Doritos? No, it does not. Is your power armor going to make it so that I can go to Taco Bell and actually go through and live the experience? It's already... The pandemic made Taco Bell more of a half-ass experience. I don't want nuclear war. That's going to fuck up all of my shit, man. I don't want rain falling from the sky that's going to fuck up the weed. I don't want...
I ain't trying to order El Taco Nucleo.
No, dude. Shit's already been bad enough.
Rat in a burrito.
Maybe we need to drop one of those bombs. Like back in the day, they were experimenting with a bomb that like got everyone stoned. It was like a weed bomb. So we just dropped one of those on old Vladimir, and he'll be like, you know what, man? With this introspective way I've been thinking, I just really fucked up, and you know we ought to be good to all these people, man. Can y'all bring me some vodka and some orange juice? You know,
dropping the H bomb says the H stays for hemp.
They did have a gay bomb too. Did you know about that one?
I was literally about to bring that up.
Yeah, they made a bomb to like make everyone gay.
Yeah, it was.
This bomb is giving me the gay.
Well, it was really funny because the way it works was basically just like, they just drop a bomb that releases these chemicals that like just does away with your like inhibitions and all that. It just makes you go fucking woo, and you get horny, and you're just like, you know what, fuck the battles, I'm out.
It's like,
I'm gonna go fuck something.
Well, the same was for the weed bomb. It was supposed to just make you like, man, do we even really need to be fighting, man?
He's not here, man.
Which sounds like the best. That sounds like the best weapon ever, dude. In comparison to the ones that give you like fucking anthrax, that sounds like a way better bomb.
You want to release 200 kilotons of THC?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. Make weed, not war.
You know, there's a slogan if you ever needed one.
Just in the middle of the battlefield, just like, hey, dog, I'm getting the munchies.
Can you hand me that MRE? Bro, you've done 12 MREs. You ain't going to shit for a week.
They all gather around the MRE while it's steaming up, like,
Yeah.
Bro.
Fred's going to bring up the gay bomb, too.
Did you know MREs are built to, like, provide you with as much calories as possible and keep you from using the bathroom?
Yeah.
So, like, you don't want to have the munchies and go in on those. You're going to be hurting. Dude, I heard a story from a guy who escaped from a German camp during World War II. And he told me this story with a group of people. He was like a family hero of this family I was hanging out with. And he escaped from the Germans in Germany and then got captured by the Russians because they were running the wrong way. And he was like, I don't know which one was worse. Like, it was really fucking bad both ways. Like, really pretty equal shitty treatment. So they were in a situation where the Germans were attacking the Russians that had them. And they got away from them too. And went back the other way where they were just at. And he said that they found a horse stable with a bunch of fucking oats. And they were starving, dilapidated. Like, these guys were about to fucking die of starvation. And they just destroyed these oats. And then he said, you know, they drank water afterwards and the oats just expanded in their stomachs. And where they had been so fucking hungry and so starving and shit, like the expanded oats, he said it was like the most miserable pain he's ever experienced in his life. Like, he said it was just so bad. And he was so thankful and grateful that they had finally gotten to eat some actual food and all that. But like, for hours they couldn't move and everybody was just in excruciating pain trying to be quiet because they were hiding and shit. He was just like, nothing about that was fun. Like, this whole fucking thing just really sucked.
They just turned into a DeviantArt drawing. Just
yeah, for real. Well, I mean, most likely they were fucking hovering off the ground farting like motherfuckers, you know, because that gas is going to be terrible. But yeah, man, like some of those survival stories from World War II are fucking insane. I watched a movie, I can't remember what it was, but like these guys were shipwrecked and had to walk across the fucking desert and all this shit to get home. And like you hear so many true survival stories from people. Nikki even told one to me about a guy who survived the Bataan Death March. You know, are you aware of that one?
I've heard of it, but I haven't really done my research.
They just marched people around fucking islands continuously without, like, just the whole time they had to march around the island, never stop. You stop, you drop, they'll fucking baton your ass, and everybody keeps going.
Damn.
Also, welcome to Gwen and New Destroy on the chat right now.
What up, Aquafinussi? You said it wrong.
Yeah.
That shit's so funny, dude.
I just shared the podcast in the announcements tab just now.
Why, hell yeah.
The podcussy.
The podcast.
Damn it.
Listen, we have to honor the tradition.
We do.
We don't have to honor shit, man. Like, the fucking
Yes,
Resident
we
Evil
do.
streams, man. I'm just like, you're beating a dead horse right now. Just everything can't be ussy. Just like,
Yeah, it can.
You in a second.
Thomasy.
Thomas.
Now you're just.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's stretch right there.
Florida's hammered right now, bro. Look at this shit. I gotta bring this shit up for y'all.
What's up?
Let's see. Oh, I mean, I guess I could just do it on the Discord chat, couldn't I? Wow.
You have the technology.
I have the power.
The future is now, old man.
But I don't want to spend a lot of money.
Look at that.
Oh, shit.
Bad. That's
like the second one in like a month?
Yeah, I just don't think... I think this one's like the worst of the worst. It's category 4.
God damn.
So, you know. Thinking about our people in Florida.
Yeah. That shit sucks.
Yeah, it does, dude. Natural disasters are not cool. Whoa. That's crazy. If you could only see how shit was moving on my screen. That's fucking crazy.
See all the tabs.
It's too much of that Aquafinussi floating around. What do you guys think about all the nonsense going on the G4 situation? G4 TV is pretty much fucking wrecked.
Refresh my memory, because I know G4 came back a little while ago, but that's all I knew about it.
Well, they went ultra woke to a certain degree, and that came back to get them. Yeah, this entertainer, so-called entertainer on their program called Frosk, went on this big rant about how they're not eye candy, they're not meant to be good to look at, they're meant to, tell people about video games or something like that, or review games. And pretty much did the thing that people are doing that seems to not be working out for anyone, and like attack their fan base directly.
There you go.
And during our downtime on the They Call Me Hat Guy channel, we have received more views than their channel, which has like thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. It's a big corporate backed by Comcast channel.
That's sad.
And they had to fire a bunch of people. Like, they even had Gerard the Completionist was hired by them. I think Scott the Woz got hired by them. And now they're just like, boo. And they had to fire like a shit ton of people. And that Frosk person tweeted, I survived the purge. I still have my job. Ha ha ha. And then they were like, all right, bitch, you're fired too. You know, like they had to fire. Yeah, you're going to get fired, dude. Could you imagine working at any company and like a bunch of people get fired and you go online and are like, ha ha ha, I didn't get fired.
Yeah.
Like how?
I think I remember hearing about that a couple weeks ago.
How entitled do you have to be to like do some shit like that?
Oh yeah. Like ha ha ha, you all got fired. Not
Yeah.
Getting, okay, now you are.
Like what a fucking twat.
Fucking yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, how many times are we gonna have to teach you this lesson, old man? It's just like
I love the young people.
I just wish that like divisive stuff would fall out of fashion. It's become the fucking downfall of everything. It's like you can't enjoy anything. When I was watching Spawn in like the early 2000s, I wasn't thinking, hell yeah, Al Simmons. He's one of my favorite superheroes because he's a black man. It was just like, Spawn is fucking awesome. You know, same with Blade. Like these guys it kicks vampire ass. Fuck vampires. They suck. Literally. Kill them. So like, why does there need to be more than that? Why can't we just like people and characters based on their fucking merit as individuals? It's just insane to me.
because brownie points are more important nowadays.
Yeah. Diversity has become more of a trend than it was more of a kind gesture than it is.
Well, that happens with every movement, everything that's like important and empowers people on a certain level. Corporate entities come through and bastardize and overthrow literal important movements. It's always happened. They always fucking do this. They'll see people charged up and riled up about something and they'll put it on like an ad campaign for their new candy bar or something. It's like...
And like that shit with the Little Mermaid, how they have a black chick playing Ariel now.
Dude, I think that people getting mad about that, it's like the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's like, who cares about the Little Mermaid? Who gives a shit? Does it really matter? Maybe that was the best actress that they could find for it. I don't give a damn. Who cares? Has it really changed Mary Jane that much that she's no longer a redhead? No. I don't think anybody really gives a damn about that anymore. Now, when you start messing with mythological characters who are very detailed in their description, like the ones that Tolkien wrote about, that they fucked up in Ring of Powers, that's where you have a problem. But people keep lumping in the people mad about Ariel and mad about this and that as the same as the Lord of the Rings shit, and it's like, no. Those characters that you made different races and stuff like that are not human beings. Those are mythical creatures with descriptions. The female dwarves are supposed to have beards, you motherfuckers. And there's only supposed to be like a handful of them, okay? So, like, what are you doing? What the fuck? This is what elves look like. You don't know how I know that? There's like 3 books that give you very, very large amounts of details, very descriptive about what elves are, where they come from. There's arguments to be made about the Rings of Power shit. When it comes to the stuff Disney does, I mean, they have all the right to be able to do that shit. I haven't seen them do anything really fucked up as far as like race casting stuff. Like, who cares if there's a black Ariel? There's been a white Ariel for fucking ever. It's not like those movies disappeared.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Fred's like, don't bring up Rings of Power in the chat.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I've been trying to watch it, and it's like they keep doing shit that just make me... Look, bro, I just got to a point where there's orcs who have a bunch of elves enslaved, and the orcs are like making them dig and like do all this work and shit. And I'm just sitting here thinking, these dumbass orcs have elves chained up and are making them dig and do all this labor. And there's more than one of them. There's quite a few. Now you're telling me the same group of people that had Legolas snowboarding downstairs in Helm's Deep on a fucking shield shooting arrows through all that, they're going to just sit there and let these orcs bark orders at them? No. These elves would sooner die than ever allow anything like this to happen to them. They're not going to be enslaved and just sit there and dig trenches for orcs. They're going to be fighting until it's all over with. Period.
Well, they right interest.
It's not interesting to me because it's like every 3 seconds there's something lore breaking about it. Like something that just doesn't add up when it comes to the creatures and characters that they're trying to portray in this story. It just doesn't work that way. You know, they're going to be.
They got like Game of Thrones writers on there, don't they? So it's like they're like elongating things because of that, because that's what they're used to or something.
Well, I heard somebody make that argument also, that like, you know, they're trying to make it longer because it's in like a series format and stuff like that. We're talking about Tolkien here. You don't have to stretch anything for him. He stretched everything so hard in the books. Like there's so much source material there that you could make off of the shit that they're using. You could make fucking 12 seasons of show if you followed exactly what he wrote down. If you just made that visual and made it a show out of exactly what the source material said. Damn, dude, you could be making shows forever off of the Silmarillion and fucking Lord of the Rings and shit. There's just so much there.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
but
they're still focusing on the diversity thing. That's
what they wanted to do was take a popular franchise and create their own fan fiction with it, which is whatever.
Yeah, right. Well, there's websites for that.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I just get bothered with every time. I don't really, if you want to like make this character this or do fucking that, whatever, but as soon as fuck, I've lost it. Never mind, I had a point.
Yeah, well, here's the point I want to bring up. That Fantastic Four movie that Fox came out with a couple years back. They made the Human Torch black. My stance on that. I didn't mind they made him black. That's fine. But just like, he was not interesting at all. Like, they didn't give him a good script to work off of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the main problem. It's like, they didn't give anybody a good script to work off of. There's just like, it all just felt a little bit by the numbers.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of things seem to be these days.
I remember now. Fucking basically the issue I have is that these people, they try and take an established series that's fucking huge. It's already got all of this lore established.
Right.
And then they just make it their own fucking little fan fiction. They take something that's already popular and just insert their politics into it because they
like
can't
the
make
Halo
something
series.
original for some fucking reason.
Like the Halo series, yeah.
Like the Halo series.
Or like the Doom movie with The Rock in it.
I mean, that was at least kind of funny.
It was so bad it was funny.
Yeah, you could make a Dwayne Johnson Doom movie work.
You could. They didn't.
Yeah.
They did not.
I was more pissed off that they didn't actually call it the big fucking gun.
Right.
That was the worst part about it.
The Netflix Resident Evil series was fucking god awful.
Oh god, I heard, yeah.
It was very
I
bad.
haven't seen it yet.
But it's just been, I hate to say it, but it's been my expectation from any Resident Evil media outside of their mainline games. But yeah, there's a lot of that shit that goes on, especially the past like 10 or 15 years. It's been incredible to see all these different franchises that have been taken and they've attempted to do something with it, and they'll take the person who created the comic or invented the source material in general and bring them on just to tell them to leave and keep their hands off of it.
Yeah.
But Sandman didn't do that. The Sandman series, you know, the guy who created the graphic novels and everything was hands-on with the production and hands-on with the story and all that. And it turned out great. People loved it. You know, it's been a big hit this year, and it just goes to show, like, all you have to do is take that medium and change it. It's like a comic and change the medium to a show. You don't have to do all this extra shit with the story and stuff. It's already successful. Obviously, people enjoy it. So fucking do that.
The writing's already there.
Yeah.
Keyframes are already there. Just fucking follow that.
which is what they did for that. There were several like panel for panel things from the graphic novel to the show, so it was like a big success. Wonder why?
Gee.
Sometimes that shit works, but it's very rare. Like the Ninja Turtles worked. You know, they completely changed almost everything about the Turtles for television and for the movies and stuff. But they also captured different audiences that way. It just turned out everything that came out of that was very good, and the hype behind it made it really, really fun for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it was especially with a series like you'd expect it to not last as long as it did. Especially with Ninja Turtles. Like,
yeah.
That was like what, like mid-80s or something like that?
Yeah, it was like 85 or something like that.
Yeah, 85. Almost 40 years now. That shit's still going strong.
It's fucking crazy.
It's focus. Like, what kind of story are you telling? A lot of shows and a lot of movies, a lot of video games, they get washed up in this middle ground of, oh, I kind of want to do this, but I also kind of want to focus.
Yeah.
Focus, write your story, write it good. That's all you need to do.
84 for the Turtles, by the way. 1984.
1984.
Uh-huh. And that first live-action movie didn't come out until 1990.
Damn.
Yeah, I think the creators of Ninja Turtles made another series called Cowboys of Moo Mesa, I think it was called.
Wow.
I think Nostalgia Critic covered that one.
That's
like
funny.
little...
I've wanted to react to some of his stuff, but I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start with that guy.
Yeah. Well, apparently, according to him, the first season of that show was actually pretty decent, but the second one kind of decreased in quality a little bit. And then they've got like some big name actors, like they've got Jeff Bennett on there. I think Tim Curry appears as like a villain.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's a lot of Tim Curry in the 90s.
As there should have been.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's still doing anything now, like since the stroke. Like I heard he was getting back into it a little bit, but I haven't seen anything that he's been in recently.
Well, son of a bitch.
Gosh, dolly darn.
Fred says, I still have the opinion that the Watchmen movie was really good.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And Brian Howell, welcome to this chat here, he says, I don't know why, but anything directed by Michael Bay seems either mediocre or bad.
Yeah, I can relate to that feeling. He's definitely big explosions and look at this.
90% of his budget.
Yeah. A visual spectacle more than mentally stimulating.
Right. And rather than a
Yeah. So some crazy shit has been going on in the world of professional wrestling. It seems that the big headlines have been shit that goes on backstage instead of things that have been happening actually in the ring or in any of their storylines. There's been a major brawl and a bad news kind of fight that went down at a company called AEW. So just imagine this. They started this company a few years ago, and they made a few of the wrestlers executive vice presidents of the wrestling company. They also brought out of retirement a WWE legend by the name of CM Punk and paid him multi-million dollar, like he had a multi-million-dollar contract for a couple of years. They don't get along. Shit has been bad between the legends and the young bucks is literally their names. And they put the World Heavyweight Championship on this CM Punk guy 2 times. He's in the back end of his 40s and has been seriously injured 2 times. Every time he's held their belt, it's only been for a couple of days. And then he gets into an actual fight with these executive vice presidents who are also wrestlers of the company. So now this company has got to pay out the millions of dollars that they were going to have to pay this guy to work for the company over a couple of years just to get him to leave. They're just going to pay him this money just to be done with him after he's just injured himself on live television and supposed to be their top guy, the baddest wrestler with the belt 2 times over. And 3 guys who were pillars of the company got in a fight with him, and they're going to have to be probably fired or put under long suspensions. What a fucking clusterfuck, dude. Could you imagine being in a company and having to deal with all this shit going on? It's like, why? I would be so fucking furious if I had to deal with that situation.
Oh yeah, I saw like an interview of him, and he was just going off about the situation for like 25 minutes.
Oh, you watched that media scrum?
Yeah, exactly. That one.
Yeah. After that, those people met him in his locker room, and there was an actual fight.
After that?
After he said all that. You know, he was like, in this press interview, he was like, if you got a problem, you just come to me about it. Come to me about your... Well, they did immediately after he said that. And now, and it's like you hear about shit like this happening in wrestling, but it's always a work. It's always like, oh, and this is going to set up a match tomorrow night. It's like, nope. They scrubbed all of them from their social media. They removed them from the intro for the next show. Like, these are top stars. You wouldn't do that if there weren't serious, legitimate problems, because they're losing money on this situation. So it's just like they get more press and more attention on their shit for when there's actual fights and actually people with real problems than they do trying to build up these badass storylines for months. They build a better storyline in real life in like 2 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Well, the topic that I wanted to talk about on this podcast here, and I kind of went into it on the solo stream that I did about 3 weeks ago on the channel here, is the Corey Kenshin situation, where he was talking about how he played this game, The Mortuary Assistant.
Right.
And there was a section in his video where it got age restricted for some reason. But he went searching around for other Let's Players to see if they had the same scene age restricted. None of them had it. And then he went to Markiplier's. And that wasn't age restricted.
Of course.
He had to talk to his rep about it. It's like, hey, why is his not age restricted, but mine is for some reason? And this apparently happens every time he goes on break, because he tends to take like hiatuses every while for like, you know, just unwinding and shit. Every time he gets like on trending when he comes back, you know, his community is like very loyal. Like every time he comes back, people always go crazy and shit, and they're always supportive of like coming back to him.
Right.
And he is a very good YouTuber. He's like one of the most family friendly ones on there. He goes to the extra effort to censor things that like the games he's playing. If there's curse words in there, he goes the extra mile to censor that shit because he's got like kids watching him. He knows that. And every time he comes back from trending, he goes trending one day, and then a couple days later, one of his past videos gets like a community guideline strike or an age restriction. Like every time he starts getting like some momentum going, he points this out in the video that he made. That like every time he comes back, he's getting a little traction. YouTube apparently like, oh, we gotta stop this. Look at this court. This is bad right here.
Oh, dude, goes, I can show you the similar shit. I can show you the similar shit on our channel actually.
Oh, that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because it was sort of similar to your guys' situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that goes on where like we'll have a video that it seems like the algorithm's starting to like toss around out there, like, oh, here, check this out, and it'll even give me a message that says, hey, this video's doing better than usual, and it's allowing us to show it to more people. And then it's like immediately after that happens, the system has become aware of it and it's just like, oh no, stop doing this.
Right.
And so we'll have videos like within just recent weeks or so, you know, we have, you know, 8,000, 3,000, 2,000, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 600, 221, 700, 6,000, 2,000. It's like it'll take a couple of days time and just be like, nah, you don't need that. It's like, no, bitch, I had to take a break. I do need that. Help me. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird how it works. And it seems like there's no real rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, but I think that didn't he title that video that the platform was racist or something like that.
Yeah, it was YouTube racism and favoritism.
Yeah, but truth be told, the favoritism is 100% a thing. That is definitely a thing.
Well, he said himself that he couldn't 100% prove that the platform itself was racist. There might be somebody behind there who has some racist motives, but he can't. He said himself he can't 100% prove that. It's just a little speculation that's been building up with him for a while, and he was like, he didn't want to come off as the angry black guy complaining either, because that's not the kind of motive he was trying to send.
Right. But they do need to get a hold on, look, all right, do I think that there should be restrictions on a game like that for who should be able to watch that? Yes. Same for Grand Theft Auto. Same for a lot of shit. There's a lot of gory, violent shit that gets a pass because it's a video game. Okay, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, some 10-year-olds. I mean, that is going to do the same thing to their brains that it's going to do if they were to watch actual footage of it, right? Like, games are getting to the point now where the graphics are so good, it's almost to the uncanny valley. So I think that it's appropriate for YouTube to age restrict certain like gory, graphic, violent games should be restricted to adults. I mean, it just should be. The same thing would happen with action movie footage and shit, like that looks gory or whatever. Like, it just makes sense to a certain degree. But if you're going to do it one place, you got to do it with everybody. It shouldn't be, Markiplier can play the most fucked up indie game that's going to traumatically scar children and it not be age restricted because he's Markiplier. That shit should be for everyone's channel, know.
And Corey's not really a small channel either. He's on like almost 15 million subscribers.
Right, which so makes sense, that he has a platform where he can make people aware of it way better than I could. I was about to make a video for what happened with our channel, but I was like, why? So 200 people can see it? I'll be wasting my fucking time. Nobody gives a shit what happens to me. So, like, somebody like him, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the same for Actman. Actman had very similar shit happen to him where, there was a creator out there doing nefarious things and he fucking put the guy on blast and the guy fucking called him out because he, I guess, put like a cucumber next to the guy's mouth or something, and it was somehow suggestive, but it was no way like.
Oh yeah.
There's no way it was actual like against the terms of service of YouTube or anything, and he got fucking demonetized, almost kicked off the platform over that shit.
Well, it wasn't specifically just that. He also did some shit on Twitter. He made some like vague, obviously memey.
Oh yeah. He posted some satirical things about doxing. Yeah, exactly. Because he got doxed. The guy he was talking about doxed him and called his mom. Actually called his mother. So they were protecting someone who was literally cyberbullying Actman. I think that goes beyond cyberbullying into just straight up harassment when you're calling people's family members and shit on the phone.
Yeah. As soon as you actually involve members of someone's family,
that's way fucked.
People,
yeah,
you're crossing a line.
Way.
I think we may have talked about it before. I'm not really sure, but Nino would probably know about this. The whole Game Grumps Dream Daddy situation where with Oni Plays and shit. One of the guys who used to be on Oni Plays, Ding Dong, who goes by that name on there, he said that he had like an original build of their game Dream Daddy on there, which is like this dad dating simulator thing they're coming out with. And he said he had an original build of that, and it was not like favorable at all. He felt it was just like pandering to gay communities and whatnot. And his partner Julian felt the same way. And apparently, a couple of people from Game Grumps, Aaron's wife, I think Susie, was talking shit, like saying that Ding Dong was lying about having a code, even though he clearly expressed that he had behind the scenes shit on that. And apparently some of the lovelies there were like doxing Ding Dong and like even outing to his family, who he wasn't even ready to come out to yet, that he was gay. Mm-hmm. Read about that shit happening. So yeah, that's another messy situation going on with that.
Yeah, that sounds.
People's favorite internet personalities, or else you'll get your life ruined.
Dude,
and look what the Game Grumps are now.
I mean, what was this Ego Raptor dude? Does he have videos that I should look into? Or should I just stick to JonTron's shit?
Stick to JonTron.
Yeah. Ego Raptor used to be like the big animator on Newgrounds for a long time. He was like the top trader on there.
Well, I mean, I've seen all the Newgrounds shit, but
yeah.
I didn't know if his YouTube stuff was worth anything.
You're not missing much.
Yeah. People have told me I need to go back and watch Game Grumps, though.
Yeah. The only thing I would say he's really had going was his sequelitis stuff, but even then, people have like debunked a lot of his shit.
Yeah, he just like he likes to pretend like he knows more about video games than he really does because he has a fucking Let's Play show. He thinks he's a fucking game developer all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, especially the fucking Ocarina of Time episode he did. People were really fucking pissed about that one.
Really?
There's so much goddamn waiting in Ocarina.
I don't know how the game works, so I'm just gonna call it bad.
See, I never do that. I get mad at games and I blame myself for sucking at them because I know that that's what it is, especially when there's so many people who like them. They're like, oh, this video game is so good. And I'm like, why am I so terrible at games that I can't fucking enjoy this?
Oh no, there's definitely exceptions. Like there's games, because a developer's logic and a player's logic are two vastly different things.
Yeah.
Right? So
two vastly different.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been hanging out with the Brits a bit too much in it,
That's
so
funny.
now I'm all of a sudden.
It's just funny out of nowhere. Just too vastly different.
Yeah, exactly.
You poncy motherfucker.
So it's very hard to strike a good balance in that. So it's like every now and then you can absolutely blame the developer, but most times it's not the developer, it's you sucking at the video game.
Yeah. I know that
Dark Souls is a big pit for that.
Oh,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is not even like, oh, there's a bit of a challenge that you have to. No, Dark Souls is a wall that you have to climb over, and you're gonna get knocked down repeatedly, and people are gonna laugh at you.
Don't laugh at me.
Don't laugh at me. I'm a frail boy.
Isn't there a Demon Souls game coming out for PS5?
It's already released, actually.
It's already released
for a little while. Yeah, it's Demon Souls remake.
Hey.
Yeah, that was like one of the launch titles, wasn't it?
They gotta have something.
Yeah, they have one game finally for the PS5.
Yeah, and then that Elden Ring game, which I still haven't tried out yet.
Oh, you should.
Boy, oh boy, it's hard.
Well, if I had the money for it, I probably would.
It's very hard.
Yeah, I feel like ever since FromSoft have figured out that we know their little secret of roll behind them and stab them in the ass, FromSoft have just been dialing up the bullshit meter like fucking notch by notch every game. It's the animations in Elden Ring are fucking insane.
Onward, men!
Behind this person. Well, fuck you and your body rolls.
Yeah, no, like if you go back to Dark Souls 1, like after playing Elden Ring, you think it's the slowest game in existence. Like, oh, here comes the Capra demon. Oh no. A half hour to fucking respond to his attack.
Damn.
Elden Ring is just like, yeah, fuck you, you're gonna die now.
Nikki and I have tried playing Elden Ring a couple of times, and it's just like, nope. Nope.
I tried playing the original Dark Souls like a little while ago, and the only part I really got stuck on was the bell gargoyles. I managed to get past them eventually, but then I just got lost after a while because I didn't know where the hell I was supposed to be going.
That's Skyrim for me, or any Elder Scrolls game. I just literally walk and do things and eventually beat the game years later or something. I can't wait for the next one, whenever it's going to happen. Supposedly, once Xbox bought Bethesda, they were like, hey guys, guess what we want you to do right now? Now.
No.
Well, I think I read that they have another project coming out that they're going to be
Starfield or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And they're saying they're going to finish up that game first, and then they're going to start development on Elder Scrolls 6.
Which pisses me off because they're saying start development on, which lets us know that they've been lying forever.
Yeah.
Did they actually
Speaking of games,
say starting
Nino.
development?
Yeah. Well, Nino, you're a Yakuza fan, of course.
Uh-huh.
You know, did you hear about the recent name change for Yakuza from Yakuza to Like a Dragon?
I knew you were going to bring that up. You want me to rant for half an hour?
Well, we actually only have a couple minutes left.
Wasn't that like the original Japanese name, though? It's like a Dragon in Japanese.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's...
Yeah. So it kind of makes sense.
I'm not too miffed about the name change per se. It just solidifies, for me personally, that the Yakuza series that I grew up with and loved is dead. That's just it.
Sad.
Well, I think it's also because they stopped telling stories about the Yakuza. I don't know what stories they're going to be telling now.
Well,
but
like even if they stopped doing that, like they made Judgment, and that game was like just about this cop guy, and he does cop things instead of being in the Yakuza, and it was still very good, and it still had the punching, let's grab a motorcycle and smash it over someone's head type gameplay.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
well, I did hear they're going to make a Cosmic Kiryu spin-off game.
spin-off.
Yeah.
What, is he gonna be in fucking? Are they gonna make another fighter in the fucking Def Jam engine?
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
They were going to make a spin-off starring Kiryu. I don't know what's going to be about.
All right, final thoughts, gentlemen. What say you?
Yakuza is amazing. Go play it, and don't take candy from strangers.
Fuck.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's another episode of How the Heck Are You podcast. Good to see you guys. We'll keep this damn thing going. I had a great time. Thanks, gentlemen. Good to see you guys again. And we'll be seeing you hopefully on Thursday. But y'all take it easy.